It's not a holy grail. It's more of twisting the probability in my favor. That's why it's called trading channels. It started with channels, but also I added a lot of things on top. I don't use any of the indicators, oscillators, Fibonacci's, or Elliott wave. I like to keep things rather simple.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to be here with Burak Kaplan today to talk about some technical analysis. Burak, how you doing today?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing well, thank you.
How about we just give the people a little bit of an introduction here, where you're from, how you got into trading,
Sure.
and all that fun stuff.
I'm an aerospace engineer from trade with a PhD in air engine design, which was a long time ago, but I did that. I worked in aerospace and then energy industry for about, I think, 17 years. The journey of trading started in 2009. I started quite a few methods that were not really my thing. I tried all those sorts of, like oscillators, indicators, even Elliott wave. But then me being an engineer, I thought I should look into the inner working of things. I like the things that are more visual rather than anticipatory things. Meanwhile, I was reading tons of books and scrolling through websites, etc. But then finally, these lines kind of started working for me, but it took, of course, 4 or 5 years. Trading channels, of course, comes from trend channels, which I'll give a few examples. They're not only channels, they are not only trend channels. I use lines mainly to look at trend channels, but also standalone supports, resistance lines with different colors. As you can see in this particular example, every formation is independent from each other. The basic idea is that when we have a trend, let's say uptrend, and we have a pullback, I try to find out how and where this market is going to keep on going and where we can find, let's say, a double support or a triple support, where we can have the breakouts. It's usually, as I said, because it's visual, it gives me a better risk control. So it's like if the lines match at a double or triple support and that support holds and the market agrees with me, then obviously the risk control is if the market later on breaks that support level, I would be out of position. It's not a holy grail. It's more of twisting the probability in my favor. That's why it's called trading channels. It started with channels, but also I added a lot of things on top. I don't use any of the indicators, oscillators, Fibonacci's, or Elliott wave. Some people may combine these lines, but I like to keep things rather simple. My main methodology or motto is that I don't have to know what the market is going to do all the time. I pick my battles. That's why I cover a lot of markets, indices, commodities, forex, cryptos, agricultural commodities, etc. Whenever I find this setup that is to my advantage, then I try to take that trade. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But let's say the probability when it's in my favor. That's what the lines are about.
First off, I do have a question for you. Do the colors signify anything?
There is no color coding, but every color on its own is a different formation. Let me give you an example on DAX very recently. This was, I think, one of the best examples that I can show. So after it had broken this resistance, that blue sideways resistance, right? Then we came down, back tested it several times. And while it's doing that, I was, of course, hoping for this blue support to hold. But also, I was looking into this red sideways channel, which is entirely independent from the blue one. On its own, it was a potential bull flag, and its bottom band had to be right here, and it had to confirm with a second touch on its bottom band together with the blue. But not only that, this became also a triple support, because while it was coming down, this is where it bottomed out in August. So we had 2 touches on the top and we had 1 touch here. And so I was hoping and I was expecting that we would get a touch on the golden bottom band here together with the red and the blue, and that makes it kind of a triple support. From here, the moment it bounced, it kind of confirmed it as a triple support. The expectation was there, but the market has to agree with me to say, okay, this now has become a triple support. Then after that, as you can see here, the rest is very clear. We went to the red top band and basically cleared that bull flag, and it kept on rallying. So my suggestion here now is that it stays inside this black uptrend. And then we would basically, ride the wave as long as the target, as a simple target, as the golden top band, if it stays inside this black uptrend. This is formed based on very specific rules. So I'm not really making lines up. I have a few rules that I follow, and as long as they fit those rules, I would take the trades. If market doesn't agree, I get out, or I don't even take the trade.
At what point are you looking to get into that trade? We obviously see that kind of consolidation or sideways trend, if
Yeah,
you will. You're in anticipation of that kind of
that's right.
triple. Yeah, so you're anticipating that. Maybe walk me through a little bit of how you're going to take that trade and maybe the risk management along with it. Do you kind of trail a
Yeah.
stop? Walk me through kind of what your process is there.
Okay, this action was beautiful as to that this triple support held. So what I would do is as soon as it bounces here, I would get in maybe like 30, 40, 50 points. That for me, that is already a confirmed support. And the stop would be below that triple support, that red one, the blue one, and the golden one. What I was expecting and hoping for was that purple resistance also to break. That's a standalone resistance. So it's not a part of any channel, whatever. But as you can see, there was quite a few hits on that. First, second, third, fourth, and then we break out. Later on, the expectation is usually that it comes back for a back test. It's almost like visiting the crime scene. Obviously, if my entry is here, it's quite safe position. And if it touches here and we bounce, and that's what it did there, obviously you can add. But more importantly, the red channels breakout was the very, very confirmation for me that everything is working out and this market is going to make new all-time highs. And that's what we had. It kept on rallying after breaking out of the red bull flag. It's not as straightforward all the time, but this here is in kind of an ideal case because triple supports are not very common. I would rather have a double support, but when it's triple support, it makes it much more, let's say, probable.
Yeah, it's a lot of confirmation all happening at one time at one point. So that totally makes sense. If you don't mind, I'd love to check out a NASDAQ chart. This has kind of been a big topic as of late. We hit all-time highs yesterday, and we're seeing a little bit of a pullback today. But
the expectation was that we are going to get to that blue line, which now is a resistance. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. That's why we're pulling back from here. This is the high of August. The previous breakout, I can also show an example. This was the beautiful bull flag breakout, this red one that I just showed here. You can see quite a few touches on that red line or red bull flag, and that was kind of giving me a lot of confidence. If you look at it this way, first, second, third touch on the top band, first and second. So these 2 touches obviously happened before the second touch on the bottom band. So my expectation would be as soon as it starts pulling back here, I would put a parallel line. This is where this little trend has started, okay? This is where we made a high. Before it makes a new high, it came down and made a lower low, but it actually bounced off this here. And then it touched that red top band for the 3rd time. And my expectation was that the moment it breaks out, I'm going to buy this. Of course, after breakout, can it not go and break it down? So this is the thing. As soon as it breaks out, I may buy it, or maybe I buy at the back test. And if it does break back into the bull flag, that means I'm not right. So you have to get out because the formation here was based only on this bull flag. There was no double support, triple support. But also, if you look at it from a long-term view, this purple line is kind of a rail. It was giving me a bit more confidence about this red bull flag. And after the breakout, we got to new all-time highs. And since then, we have touched many all-time highs. So I'm going to show you now a bit more long-term, Ryan.
Real quick, one question. Are there certain time frames that you're using? It looks like this is a 2-hour. Is there other time frames you use? Do you go up to a daily chart, weekly chart?
Yeah, let me show you. The daily chart, obviously the 2-hourly, I zoomed out and I showed multi-month view. But the daily chart would show me already like the low of August was captured. So I was anticipating a touch at the golden bottom band right there. So the top band, this is the high of July 23, low of October 23. And then we got to there. And then it was coming down very, very, very fast during last summer. And my expectation was that if this golden support holds, then it should bounce. But of course, I was also looking into very short-term stuff here. Meanwhile, okay, this is the daily chart, and I had already removed a lot of my lines from basically August. So not only the daily chart, like this golden bottom band, but I also zoom in and try to find out also the short-term action and the short-term support, which is kind of parallel with my expectation from the long-term line, which is this golden bottom band. And the moment it bounced, obviously it confirmed this golden support. I had in mind to show some of the examples. So I was like, okay, let's show natural gas because there are a lot of people who are following natural gas. has. This here, for example, is the high of 2023 November, and this green resistance was holding it down. You can see how many touches on this resistance rail, but just recently in November, we broke it and back tested it, and we rallied. This is the anticipation and when it got confirmed. That's the example, first of all. And I said, okay, if we get to that blue top band, we got to be a bit careful. And it immediately reversed there. So which means this is a confirmation of this uptrend. And it's still on. We pulled back, again, an example of a triple support. So that green one that I just explained. And then also, you can see the red top band with 2 touches here. First touch was this one. This is where it topped. So came down without making a new high. The second touch, together with the green backtest, and also the black top band and the black bottom band. So this became a triple support. My expectation was that it is going to rally, break out of the black, and get to the red top band, because this looked like a bull flag. And even the black channel was broken, and the back tested while it was filling this gap from Sunday night. And then exactly from this black support, well, previous resistance becomes a support. So it's exactly touched it there. We got to the red top band. And as you can see here, it's clearing that red top band. So the target would be the blue top band again, which would be around 3,800 or so. So this is another example of how different lines, which is denoted by different colors, can act as an indication of where the next major support is. There is a kind of a correlation between time and price. And I think lines give us a good visual to say where the market or the big money is flowing into. I don't have a mathematical formula for this. I wish I had, but lines already gives us quite good indication about where the market is going. I'm just going to show you maybe like an oil example. So this is the US oil. I think we are inside this purple kind of a really large triangle here. And let's put it this way. This golden resistance got tested for 3 times. As you can see, every single touch was causing it to press down. And this purple support, this is low of 21 and low of 23, low of 24. And as you can see, we have been above that all this time. So my expectation would be if it touches that green top band, which is an expectation because it's not a channel yet. So it has to touch it for the second time on the top band, and then come down to confirm it. And then if that purple support holds and we break out, especially if we break that golden resistance, that becomes a major breakout for me. Then you can buy oil itself, then you can buy oil stocks. I'm also checking out oil stocks and energy stocks because they are also forming kind of a consolidation, and it's probably going to come out of consolidation like BHP Billiton, BP, a lot of oil companies, small and big. So that also kind of supports the idea of a correction and being close to being over. Yeah, that's how trading channels work in a nutshell.
All right, Burak, where can people find you on social media again? Remind us of the Twitter, because I'm a big fan. I love following you on Twitter. So tell the people where they can go to check you out.
Yeah, it's at Trading Channels. Under the link, you can also find the website. You can find the other YouTube channel, etc.
Burak, thanks so much for being here with us. Looking forward to chatting with you again in the future. Thank you.
This presentation is for educational purposes only. All of the symbols, trading ideas, and live trading are for demonstrational purposes and are not recommendations or trading advice. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All of the information and opinions expressed by third-party guests are their own and are not necessarily those of NinjaTrader, LLC. Trading futures involves substantial risk and may not be suitable for everyone, and trading futures can result in losses greater than the initial required margin. Traders should only trade futures with risk capital. Risk capital is money that you can afford to lose without jeopardizing your financial security or current lifestyle. You can find additional disclosure information on the NinjaTrader website.